out to Eric in the chat. We see you. Shout out to Jeff. Thank you for watching. But is Iran stealing ships in the Strait of Hormuz, honey? So President Trump said he was trying to work out this deal. He even gave more time, but none of that matters because Iran said we're going to take these ships like Somalians. Let's go.
Not the Somalians.
Leave the Somalians alone.
Not the Somalians.
Seizes 2 ships in the Strait of Hormuz in retaliation for the U.S. naval blockade. Trump offers flexibility on a ceasefire deadline. And Israel attacks medics and journalists in Lebanon. Here's everything you need to know about the past 24 hours.
لذا این رو من میخوام تاکید بکنم که ما این میدان رو تا تنبیه جدی متجاوز.
This is a battle between the pragmatists and the hardliners in Iran right now, and the president wants a unified response.
Iran is making its own moves in the Strait of Hormuz, similar to the U.S. attacking and seizing an Iranian vessel a few days ago. Iran has now seized 2 cargo ships. The Iranian military released footage of the operation and is threatening to attack more vessels in the area. This video and the timing of the incident is about sending a message that Iran can and will tighten control in the strait unless the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports is lifted. The capture happened hours after U.S. President Donald Trump extended a ceasefire, but he maintained the blockade aimed at strangling Iran's economy. Iran's lead negotiator, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, says reopening the Strait of Hormuz is now impossible with such flagrant breaches of the ceasefire. The standoff in the strait is severely threatening a second round of talks in Islamabad. But President Trump says both the ceasefire and blockade will remain in place until a deal is agreed.
President Trump announced an extension of the ceasefire. He's maintaining and generously offering a bit of flexibility to a regime who has been completely tarnished because of Operation Epic Fury.
But despite the flexible deadline, reports are emerging of at least 3 Iranian tankers seized by U.S. forces in Asian waters. And the Pentagon has released footage showing its forces boarding a sanctioned tanker in the Indo-Pacific region. Now, just as the Navy is bearing the brunt of U.S. war operations, Pete Hegseth has sacked the Navy Secretary John Phelan. No official reason was given, but he's the latest high-ranking military leader to be removed during the war. It comes just weeks after the Army's chief of staff was forced to step down. Despite the shakeup at the Pentagon, the White House says Trump is satisfied with the naval blockade, but vessels are getting through. At least 34 tankers with links to Iran have bypassed the blockade since it began, according to the cargo tracking group Fortexa. That's equivalent to 10 million barrels of oil, but that's a small figure compared to before the war, when 15 million barrels passed through the Strait of Hormuz every day. The other crucial issue is the truce in Lebanon, and the prime minister there is accusing Israel of war crimes after it attacked journalists and medics in the town of Atiri. The Al Akhbar reporter Amal Khalil was killed and her colleague Zainab Faraj was seriously injured. Israeli forces fired on medics and rescue workers trying to help them. Hezbollah says it wants it back and has again fired at Israeli positions. Those are the latest attacks in a wider war that is far from over. That's all from me today. Stay with us on Al Jazeera for all your developments in the war on Iran.
Okay, so we got some pirates. They done called it the Somalis. The Somalis taught them the way. They should. You know what? That's what y'all get. Kamal, I'm talking to you. Mia, I'm talking to you. Y'all, mainly Mia. Mia, you made a lot of videos about the Somalis. Americans that made video about the Somalis, they say, you know what? We sick of y'all Americans. We're gonna call up Iran, and we're gonna teach them the way on how to seize these ships. I'm just kidding. Mia, what's your thoughts on the Iranian pirates?
I mean, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. And they're the ones that laid those sea mines, so they know exactly where to go and what to do and how to sneak out of their own area. I mean, and a lot of people don't understand. So they're saying, 30 ships got through, but it's like ships all the time turn off their tracking GPS transponders. So we don't really know how many ships are actually in the Strait of Hormuz. The Chinese ships all the time keep their transponders off, especially when they're fishing in protected seas like Patagonia and whatnot. We really have no idea what's going on, and we have no idea how many ships go to and from. We can only track them when they have their transponders on, and most of them have their transponders off. I mean, and then President Trump, told us 4 to 6 weeks, and now it's going to take at least 6 months for us to allegedly clear all the sea mines. So I don't know. We're going to be there dealing with piracy.
Gray, what's your thoughts? You went and you served in Iraq. Did you ever go to Iran? Did you ever see the Strait of Hormuz? What do you think?
Iran wasn't being talked about back then. Iraq was talked about. Afghanistan was talked about. What do I think as far as the pirates
what do you think about all this? You think Somalia went and go help them? I'm just kidding. But seriously, in all seriousness, it appears they're getting some sort of help. President Trump today said in a White House press briefing, what do you think about China giving weapons to Iran? He said, that's fine. I don't care. He's like, everybody helps their friends. So what do you think about his answer and about all of this?
Well, I'm a Floridian, and so Rick Scott is a big name here. He was the senator for a long time, and he was being interviewed, and he said it doesn't matter if we lose the Iran war, because if they can affect China's economy and the oil be affected, then China's going to be affected regardless. So it seems like the end goal is to hurt China. That's what.
Can I? Sorry, two little things. China can just come back to us and say, "Pay us our debt. We bought a lot of your debt after the 2008 recession. Pay us, motherfuckers." So that's not smart. And then also after 9/11, during Iraq and Afghanistan, Iran was actually helping us with giving us intel about Al-Qaeda. And the Bush administration, I suppose, when somebody found out that, no, Iran's on the list of the 7 countries, including Somalia, from the clean break strategy, we can't be working with them because we're going to have to eventually attack them, 7 countries in 5 years, right? Then it was one of the Bush administration officials who went out and, like, out of the fucking blue was like, no, fuck Iran. We don't like them. And then Iran was like, wait, but we're helping you with Al-Qaeda, because Al-Qaeda was actually not from Iraq. They're from Saudi Arabia mostly. And so it was like a whole big fucking mess. And like, just to bring it all back to, this has to do with the Greater Israel Project, clean break strategy, 7 countries in 5 years. That's why we're in this. And the rich are going to stay rich. So, I mean, they're even like earlier today, Mia made a comment, and always just to remind us back to, like, what the real truth of the matter is. Always, it's always a wealth distribution. They're just redistributing themselves all of the freaking wealth while we get crumbs.
Let me say this, that is half of it, but Iran really has been helping terrorist groups, whether you think that they're terrorist groups or not. And I'm very critical of Israel. So what I'm about to say is somebody who's very critical of the things that Israel has done, but they are funding Hamas, they're funding Hezbollah, people who we as Americans, United States, our intelligence agencies consider as terrorist groups. So that was why. Now, I don't agree with us inserting ourselves necessarily and causing the situation we're seeing, but I do agree with the Trump administration to weaken them if they were doing that. And they have been found to do that. And many countries around the world are happy that this is happening because Iran is a problem. And I just want to say that it's not, yes, it does benefit Israel, but to some extent, but it also benefits our Gulf partners, because a lot of them, they don't like Iran. They want Iran gone. The problem is Iran has been around for 30,000 years for a reason.
Right. I will say, so since 9/11, there have been many terrorist attacks in the last 30 years on our beloved country. None of them have been from Iran on our country. Iran poses a threat to Israel because Israel is expanding their borders, and they do fund terrorist organizations like Hezbollah. I understand that. But also, just as a reminder, I've said it on here before, the only reason that Hamas won in 2005 was because Benjamin Netanyahu and the Likud party allowed for the facilitation of those funds to fund the militant group Hamas so that they would win that election, because they didn't want the Palestinian Authority to win, because he was caught in a hot mic saying we want them to win because then they're going to attack us and that'll give us a reason to go in and finally, you know, do what we have to do. So, I mean, I'm not saying Iran are good. I do. They are tyrannical, right? I don't know any Iranian who defends the IRGC. Unlike like with Venezuela or Cuba, where you do get like at least, you know, a left-right leaning diversity of opinion. But personally, like even just like on the news, like I don't know Iranians who really support or supported the IRGC, because after we attacked them and martyred their religious leader, now they all went out after and protested against the United States because nobody wants intervention. And nobody should want intervention because it never ends well.
Yeah, I hear all that. But what I'm saying is Israel is half of the story. I agree with you. But our Gulf partners is the other half of the story. And Israel's not the only one pushing President Trump to keep this going. Our Gulf partners are pushing it as well. And we have American businesses and American interests in the Gulf. And people don't understand that and they don't realize that. At this point, I think we're so far gone. I think President Trump put himself in a pickle he can't undo. But you can't just walk away and say, bye. We don't, you know, we're not going to be involved. No, we got to have some sort of deal and resolution now because of how deep into this we are.
Well,
that's why when he declares victory, I'm like, let him win. That's fine. We won. Everybody, hooray. Like,
well, I mean, if you follow the money trail, Saudi Arabia and Israel have teamed up, and their goal is to remove all of the other players from the chessboard until it's just them two, and then they're going to fight it out in the final battle. That is the goal. You follow the money. That is what the money tells us. The Saudis are working with the Israelis because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and they want to remove all of the other chess pieces in the region. Literally, that is the money trail that leads right to the White House, right to the president's own family, to our venture capitalists, to the billionaires here, all of it. So the Saudis are playing the waiting game. They're funding the Israelis as well as we are because they want to be the last person standing with Israel so they can fight each other at the end.
Yes, and that's why with the first Trump administration, the Abraham Accords were bad. It was not a peace deal, and it led and it paved the way to the position that we're in now, which is bad. And also the Gulf states, our friends, they're not good people. I always use them as an example when people falsely say we're over here spreading democracy. No, we're not. We're friends with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. And Egypt.
No, and I fully agree with you, Kim, but I want to tell the full story because it's not just Israel pressuring him. And I think that that's being missed too, because we got to call it all out. Not only do I think we should cut off from them, but we need to cut off from those Gulf countries too. But the reality is I don't think we're going to be able to because of those AI data centers that they're putting up there, and it benefits us. But wait, I have one last thing I want to play. This is a clip. This was our girl, Carolyn Levitt. And interestingly enough, Mia said it's her last day or something weird today. I'll let Mia talk about it after. But this is what she had to say about the Iran ships.
Which remains as the White House slammed the regime for seizing ships after opening fire in the Gulf.
These were not U.S. ships. These were not Israeli ships. These were two international vessels. These two ships were taken by speedy gunboats. Iran has gone from having the most lethal navy in the Middle East to now acting like a bunch of pirates.
Yeah, they call it the Mosquito Navy. President Trump telling Fox he's in no rush to get a deal done after extending the ceasefire. Quote, he says, people say I want to get it over with because of the midterm. Not true. We want a good deal for the American people, adding the blockade scares Iran even more than the bombing.
Okay, Kamal. What's up with the ski mask, they're asking? What do you think about what you just heard? Am I right? Is that giving you Somali vibes? What do you think?
Look, first of all, Frank, the reason why they wearing ski masks is so they don't get water on their face. All right? Leave them the hell alone.
or maybe
all right? You know what I mean? That water cold. So, second of all, y'all missing the point, all right? This is why we need Tulsi Gabbard. She got the X-Men storm hair going. If she would have been out there, she would have stopped them pirates from doing that shit. You feel me? God damn. Where is Tulsi Gabbard when you need her? All right. But I will say this, though. It seems like this is creating like a black market.
Hello,
Look,
Greg.
Greg, see, Greg, look at
You know what you
water
see?
don't get in his face. All right.
See? Ski mask.
Yeah.
Do you
He got
guys know the song by Juicy J? Gun plus a mask equals cash.
I never heard
That's
that.
what they're doing. A gun plus a mask equals cash from Juicy J.
Man. But I will say this though, and I don't know if y'all agree with it, but it seems like all this happening is creating like a black market. And this is what happens in black markets.
True.
Right? So, but hey, Kimberly, let's prepare ourselves because goddamn gas gonna be like $8 before we know it.
Oh my God, I just filled up again today and it's getting worse. I'm like, what's going on? Like, it's so, oh man, we're probably not even halfway there. Oh my God.
Yeah, forget all you people from the East Coast and with that good $3 gas and shit. All
Our
right?
gas went down, and then it was going down. We were down to $3.88 last week.
Damn. You know what? I don't want to hear no more about gas, y'all.
I think I'm gonna start putting the cheap gas. That's actually the one that's like bad for your car because I always put Chevron. I'm just gonna start putting that. I don't even know what brand it is, but there's one right here, and it's always a little bit cheaper. I'm just gonna start.
Do you have like a BJ's, a Sam's Club, or a Costco?
My mom has Costco.
I would go and get gas from there. That's where I've been getting my gas from.
That's where my mom fills up at the Costco. Mm-hmm.
Man, that gas still like $6.25.
It's crazy.
In Cali is crazy.
You know, I did grocery shopping today, and milk at Walmart went up over $1. So I mean, we're already starting to see like dairy products are up at least 30 to 40%. I mean, eggs are going to be up as well. I mean, all of it is like it's going to be a little trickle down effect that, and you know, of course we're not going to be able to get any relief from the feds.
Yeah. And I will say, I'll send you guys a report if I find it, if I didn't already send it, but a lot of that is inflation, obviously with the beef and the dairy and all that, but they're starting to do the same thing they did during COVID again, because this country allows it, but they're also price gouging.
Do the honey pots give out money too?
Yeah. Well, no, they get money.
Oh, the honey pots get money?
They get money. They're getting paid by federal, like the intelligence agencies to stay with the men.
How can I be a honeypot? Like, I don't know. I know a lot of Mexican people. Like, how can I get into contact with some like narcos or something? Like, please.
I don't know, girl. You don't want to be a honeypot to the narcos, man.
Like
these people here are gonna do that, but like those Spanish people cut your head off, girl. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Bad. It's bad. It is really bad. They always find like bags of dead bodies all around Guadalajara. They've been trying to suppress the stories because of the FIFA, but it's bad.
Well, guys, if you're watching, please hit the like button and make sure you hit that notification.
Man, hold on. Meta, that's cap. There's no way in damn world you driving 80 miles to work and 80 miles back. That's 160 miles, bruh. That's no way. Come on.
Wow.
Honestly, sometimes when I was driving through LA, depending on when they would send me, I would drive all the way the fuck to Malibu.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, Mia, what's your closing thoughts there?
I guess my closing thoughts are, I guess everybody needs to put their tinfoil hat on and be aware of what's going on, be aware of all the fact that we have all these aerospace engineers finding themselves missing or mysteriously unalived. David Wilcox was just found suicided, unalived. And also the tariffs, like I've been saying this whole time, were a terrible idea. And we just watched the largest wealth transfer at once happen. And I hope everybody's happy about it.
Damn, not happy about it. Kimberly, what's your closing thoughts?
We really do need a MAGA here, because I would love to know what the cope is now. I don't even know what the cope is now. I don't see it on my algorithm now. Are they still coping? Are they? Okay?
Yeah. They're saying that this is what they voted for. We don't know what you're talking about. Everything's gonna work out. They're winning. We're winning. We're winning.
So much. Yeah. I don't really get MAGA on my feed anymore. Everybody check on your MAGA friends, because there's no way that they're doing okay. You have to take some hard drugs to be coping with this because it's hard. It's so hard out here. It's getting worse. Oh, and then I'll just close with this. I'm so glad I put my books here. This is the book, Three Body Problem. I freaking love this book. It's about the scientists. Such a good book. I can't even begin to explain it. Actually, my homie Barack Obama did a little review of the book right here. Look at that. Love Barack Obama. And my closing thoughts, just to close it. This was I really enjoyed this talk. I love talking to you guys. I love the nuance. I love talking to people who talk this stuff. My friends don't talk to me about this stuff, so you guys are my friends. But I think it's important to talk about it amongst us who love this country, and I hope that we all are doing okay. And I hope things get better for our sake.
Oh yeah, I agree. Kamal, what's your closing thoughts?
Man, y'all cracking me up, man. God damn. Man, shout out to the new party, you feel me? Y'all hit the notification bell so y'all know when we go live. All right. Also hit with a sub. Shout out to everybody on the panel, from Kimberly to Mia to Nora and Gray. Y'all go follow their platforms. They got TikToks or Instagrams, you feel me? If you want to follow me, Kamal Johnson. I know some of y'all have a hard time spelling it, so I'm gonna spell it out for y'all. Kamal, and you should know how to spell Johnson. I'll pop right up on YouTube, type it in, bam. Yeah, this was a great episode. This was very informative. This was funny as hell. First of all, man, we need Tulsi Gabbard to get out there and whoop the asses of them Iranian pirates, man. Get your storm on. You got the hairdo. You might as well do what you're supposed to do. You feel me? You ain't been doing shit else. Second of all, Cash Patel. That eye don't lie, bruh. I know it's a little lazy and all, but I see it, bruh. I know a coke eye when I see it, allegedly. You know? Also, I learned what a honey pot is. You feel me? Shout out to honey potters out there. Y'all keep getting the honey from the pot, I guess. And then last thing is this, you feel me? Man, buy some assets, y'all. These motherfuckers is playing with the stock market, y'all. MAGA mean make America get assets, all right? Or give up their assets. Damn, y'all buy assets at this point. Shit. Damn near gas gonna be $10 before we know it. Buy some assets. Shit. Anyway, shout out to the chat. Y'all's real cool. You feel me? Chris, you keep talking about aliens. You want the aliens to probe you or something, bro? Anyway, y'all have a great weekend. We will be back at this on Monday. Shout out to everybody on the new party and shit. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, really.
Thank you, Kamal. Go ahead, Gray. What's your closing thoughts?
Great episode. This was a lot of fun. As far as Cash Patel needs to be fired, I don't know. I guess that's all up to Donald Trump. They get people fired all the time. That's his tagline. As far as the Iran Strait and everything that's going on with that, I guess we'll just have to keep you up to date because it seems to just get updated every single week. So who knows what's going to come out next? Like we always say on a new party, always vote.
No, don't vote. I'm just kidding. Anyways, guys, as we wrap tonight, we want to take a moment to wish the United States strength, clarity, and unity during these uncertain times. With rising tensions in the Middle East, our thoughts and prayers are with the brave men and women serving our country overseas. No matter your political stance, we can all agree, guys, that they deserve safety, support, and an opportunity to come home to their families. We also recognize the human side of leadership and public service, guys. We touched on Cash Patel allegedly having some sort of substance abuse problem. If Cash Patel is facing personal struggles, I hope he finds the help and support he needs. I can only imagine some of the things he might have seen in the role that he's in. We have a very, very sick country. Listening to, if you want to go check out my content, I talk a lot about true crime. Listening to the trial last week of that FedEx driver and the disgusting things he did to that little girl. Can you imagine? Cash Patel probably sees dozens of stories like these. So the pressure, the responsibility, and the things that he sees and may witness can weigh heavily. We need to be give compassion, and I hope they can get him the help he needs. And as conversations around transparency continue, we hope voices like Tulsi Gabbard can bring clarity and truth to the American people. No matter where you stand politically, truth matters, guys. So God bless America, and may God continue to guide this nation and our president, President Trump, with wisdom and strength. Stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time. Come back next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Man Cave. God bless and good night.
Hello, history buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Freedom of future. A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls. To the encampment for freedom of future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is robbed by. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's new work captures the spirit of We Fight for Independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. We must enact. To the encampment for liberty. Through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead. Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, fire me!